Breaking news! Falcons fans, listen carefully, because what I'm about to share could shape the entire future of this franchise. Just imagine, Falcons Nation, Patrick Mahomes, the man who revolutionized the quarterback position, talked about Michael Penix Jr., and on top of that, we have an Atlanta legend sending a stern warning to Penix. Now, is Penix really the future that will end 7 years of frustration, or are we about to experience another disappointment? Stay with me until the end because there are details here that could completely change how you view this Falcons season. Hit the like button and comment below with your opinion on Penix. Let's go! Let's start by talking about Patrick Mahomes. Yes, the two-time MVP, three-time Super Bowl champion, one of the greatest quarterbacks of this era, who just went on record saying that Michael Penix Jr. throws the ball as well as anyone. Let that sink in for a second. We're talking about the same Mahomes who rewrote the quarterback position, the guy everyone in the league covets, giving this level of praise to our quarterback. And this isn't just generic praise. Mahomes explained that he's watched Penix since his days at Indiana, followed him to Washington, and was impressed with how he finished last season. That's not an exaggeration. It's respect from someone who knows exactly what it takes to succeed at the highest level. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. Is Michael Penix Jr. really the guy? Not everyone's convinced. He's still got everything to prove, and we're still talking about a quarterback who went 1-2 as a starter at the end of last season. But Mahomes is betting on Penix's future. He believes the arm talent is elite, and that with the right development, Penix can keep getting better and better in this league. Falcons fans, you can't ignore the fact that Mahomes sees something special here. And this isn't just about Penix's talent alone. Mahomes pointed out that Atlanta already has the weapons, Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Bijan Robinson, and a veteran offensive line that can protect him. The real question now is whether the Falcons can put all that talent together under Coach Morris's culture. Mahomes himself said it, the NFL is all about momentum and getting hot at the right time. The Falcons have the roster to do it, but talent doesn't win games if you don't execute. Speaking of execution, the schedule might already be throwing the Falcons a little help. Week 2 against the Minnesota Vikings could come without one of their biggest threats, Jordan Addison. Remember what Addison did to us last season? 8 catches, 133 yards, 3 touchdowns, the only multi-touchdown game of his year. Well, thanks to a DUI incident and a plea agreement, Addison is now under the NFL's personal conduct review and could be hit with a 3-game suspension. If that happens, he misses week 2, and that's a huge break for the Falcons' defense. But even with that bit of luck, nobody is giving anything to Atlanta. And that's exactly what former MVP and Atlanta native Cam Newton wants to hammer home to Michael Penix Jr. Newton on his 4th and 1 podcast, sent a direct message. The same way you got the position is the same way you will lose the position. Strong words, but in the NFL, they're true. Newton's warning was clear. Penix can't get comfortable just because the job is his now. One bad stretch, one lapse in preparation, and the business side of this league will move on quickly. He doesn't need to look far for proof. He won the job over Kirk Cousins, and that same scenario could flip if Penix doesn't keep earning it. Newton's words might sound harsh, but they're rooted in experience. Penix knows adversity, for straight season-ending injuries in college taught him what it takes to fight back. That mentality might be his biggest weapon going into 2025. Because for the first time in 7 years, the Falcons have a real shot at ending their playoff drought. They started 6-3 last season before finishing 8-9, and now, with a quarterback that Mahomes believes in, the entire city is waiting to see if this team can finally break through. But here's the question, Falcons fans, do you believe? Does Mahomes' praise make you more confident in Penix, or do you think Cam Newton's warning is the reality check we all need? Drop your thoughts in the comments right now. Because here's where things get really interesting, Falcons fans. Think about everything riding on Michael Penix Jr.'s shoulders right now. We're talking about a team desperate to erase 7 years of frustration, no playoff appearances, no winning record since 2017. And now, all eyes are on a young quarterback who played just 3 games as a starter last season. That's the kind of pressure that can either make you a franchise legend or break you completely. And the voices surrounding Penix? They're as loud as they've ever been, with some cheering him on and others warning him not to get too comfortable. Patrick Mahomes' praise wasn't casual small talk, it was a deliberate statement. He's going to keep getting better and better in the NFL, Mahomes said. Coming from someone who faced the same doubts early in his career, that's powerful. Remember, Mahomes himself was questioned when he left Texas Tech and entered the NFL, with critics wondering if his flashy style could translate to pro football. He turned that doubt into 2 MVPs and 3 Super Bowl titles. If Mahomes sees some of that same potential in Penix, that should make every Falcons fan sit up and pay attention. But let's not pretend it's all smooth sailing. Cam Newton's warning still echoes because it's rooted in NFL reality. This is a business first. The same way you got the position is the same way you will lose the position. It's brutal honesty, and it's a reminder that nothing is guaranteed, not even for a first-round quarterback. One bad stretch, and suddenly those whispers of "is Kirk Cousins going to take over again?" get louder. Newton knows how quickly things can change. He lived it, going from MVP to bouncing around teams in just a few years. And Penix has to deal with more than just on-field expectations. The Falcons have built a roster expecting immediate success. Drake London, Darnell Mooney, and Bijan Robinson aren't here to wait 3 seasons for the quarterback to figure things out. They're ready to win now. That means Penix doesn't just need to be good, he needs to be good fast. And while Mahomes thinks he can get there, it all depends on whether Penix can handle the mental side of the game as well as he throws the ball. Momentum, as Mahomes mentioned, is everything in the NFL. Last season's 6-3 start showed that this team can compete, but an 8-9 finish reminded us how fast things can fall apart. That's why every little advantage matters, including scheduling quirks like Jordan Addison possibly missing week 2. Without him, Minnesota's offense loses a huge weapon, which could give Atlanta's defense the edge it needs early in the season. Addison destroyed us last year with 3 touchdowns in a single game. That's production you can't just replace. If the NFL hands down that 3-game suspension, the Falcons need to capitalize. Winning early can set the tone for the entire season, especially for a young quarterback trying to build confidence. And speaking of confidence, Penix's past might be his greatest asset. For consecutive season-ending injuries at Indiana could have ended his career before it even began. Instead, he transferred to Washington, rebuilt his game, and turned himself into a first-round NFL quarterback. That resilience? That's what could separate him from all the other young quarterbacks who crumble under pressure. The adversity he's faced before might be the very thing that keeps him grounded now. But here's where you come in, Falcons fans. Do you think Penix has what it takes to handle all of this? Are you buying into Mahomes' faith in him, or do you think Cam Newton is right to warn him not to get too comfortable? The playoff drought, the pressure, the hype, it's all on his shoulders. So, tell me in the comments, is Michael Penix Jr. the quarterback who's finally going to lead the Falcons back to glory, or is this just another false start in a long line of disappointments? And before you go, if you're as fired up about this season as I am, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're going to be breaking down every twist and turn of the Falcons' journey this year. Rise up!